All right, so welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawleys. We do conversations about faith, family, relationships. And by the way, we also do recaps, reviews, and commentaries on some of our favorite shows. This one is all about Married at First Sight, season 342. Because,
in
in Nashville, 16, I think it is. Okay, 14, 16, 32, hut, hike. So if this is content that you enjoy, you know what to do by now. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, request notifications.
And share.
We'll see you in the comments considering becoming a member and checking out the merch store. So let's kind of jump into it because can decision day come any sooner?
It needs to hurry up. They just need to decide so they can go on with their lives.
Yes.
And be the happy, separate, married couple they can be.
Let's start with Nicole and Chris, just because.
I mean, out of all of them, they're in the lead.
Would you consider them being in the lead? I mean, they're probably going to stay together, but.
I mean, that's in the lead. The whole goal is to stay together, right? You got married at first sight and stay together. They're in the lead. Okay. Give them that.
I'll give them that. So they're unpacking from the trip, and.
Why they're not using hamper? Did they wash?
That was the question we had.
Did they? I think random things that people don't think about. So I'm assuming they washed while they were on a trip.
We hope. Because they just pulled them clothes out the suitcase and was like, all right, here, put it in the closet.
Maybe they were doing that for the cameras. I don't know. If I had an opportunity, yes, I have washed while we've been gone.
Absolutely.
Because I thought that'd be easier. So when I do get home, I can put away clothes instead of having to do laundry.
Right.
So.
But I don't know if if they had time to wash clothes or they was running around doing dinosaur things.
Right.
Just saying. I don't know.
I hear you. I don't know. The dinosaurs. Things take priority.
Yes, and dinosaurs evidently was priority for them. But while they're unpacking, they're like, "Oh, who made the most stride of the couples? Who's really come so far?" As if they've come far.
What's up?
We've come this far by faith. Listen.
Leaning on the Lord. I've been singing hymns all day.
Yes, you have. Putting it on Facebook too.
I know. I can't help it. I was like, what is this?
That Baptist upbringing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, and they're like, did they say themselves? Was like, oh, we really didn't.
We haven't given ourselves credit.
Right. I was like, yeah, you should give yourself credit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what's important. What's going on in your relationship.
Yes. And not trying to be in everybody else's relationship. And
give advice to everyone else's relationship. Yeah. Then giving advice to your own relationship.
You can give advice to other people in their relationship when you've been together for some time. Like, I'm going to take counsel from those that have been married 40 years. I'm going to take wisdom from that, right?
Yeah, I mean.
But don't get married 3 weeks ago and start thinking that you're an expert in marriage. Sorry.
I mean, you could probably throw me a chicken nugget, like with a little bit of sweet and sour sauce on it. Somebody might have a little gem hidden somewhere.
Nicole, well, see, here's the thing. Nicole has to heal first.
She does. Now, I agree with that.
She got to heal first.
She has to heal. And so I think it's important to put all your energy. I hear what you're saying. I know we're joking, but put all your energy into your relationship. But I believe you can learn from every couple and every stage if they've gotten something out of it that made it important for them, right? Because you could go back and look back, or it helps you to remind you why you do the things you do in your own marriage.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like.
No, I hear that. I'm just thinking about that time we had somebody that had just gotten married like 4 weeks, and they were going to do a marriage seminar.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Like at that time, I think we were in like 10 or 12 years, and it was like, why am I going to come to your marriage seminar?
Oh, I know what you're talking about today. Yeah. I remember. I was like, yeah, I mean, stay in your lane, right? Because you have to be when you're talking about doing a seminar, you're saying you're the expert.
Right. Now, if you're going to invite your single friends and talk about how to get married and,
your experience in your first year of being a newlywed.
Don't come to folks that have been married 10, 12, 30 years talking about you're going to do a marriage seminar and you still in honeymoon phase.
Right.
The ink ain't even drawing your wedding certificate. All right. So anyway, they talk about moving. They talk about removing pineapples. Now, do you know what pineapples can symbolize?
Okay, I remember the word pineapple from Kevin Hart.
Right. Okay.
Now, it was in his stitch when he was talking about his safe word for sex.
Yes.
Now, she says she can't recall where she got the word pineapple from. That's my first thought.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, I don't know if she likes Kevin Hart, then we can be on the same page about that.
Yes.
But because we're from different cultures, I don't know where she got pineapple from.
I don't know where she got pineapples from either specifically, right?
Right. But that's the first thing that came up.
But I do know that pineapples is kind of a code word / symbol for swingers.
Oh, really?
Like upside down pineapples. Like that's why if you go on cruise ships sometimes
and they'll have a pineapple on their door.
Yeah. So the fact that she was running pineapples all through the house.
She was running pineapples through the house.
I don't know.
So let's talk about this. I agree with him. He said, listen, I know you were trying to use the word because maybe in your past relationships, you know, they were disrespectful or embarrassed you in public. Right. So you don't want that to happen in our relationship. But he said, I feel like I can tap your leg, probably give him that look like you need to calm your down.
Calm down.
You need to calm down and we're good. So yeah, I think he was right in telling her, let's just cancel the word.
Yes.
We're a new couple.
Right.
And we're in another phase of our relationship where we balance each other good.
Yep.
And then when she's like, okay, what else do we need to do? I didn't know they had pineapples throughout the house.
Yeah, that's why when I saw that, I was like,
so he was like, well, while we're talking about pineapples, what we ain't gonna do in our house
is have pineapples all over the house
and have it string up. And then she was like, I want to compromise. And he like, okay.
Because all we need is the wrong neighbor to come to the house and thinking that something's up and
So she decided to put it in his office. He's like, yeah, you can put it in your office. Go for it.
Yep.
But around this house, see, this is where I am. As the more they get comfortable, Nicole heals, you're going to see him morph into the confident man he needs to be.
Okay.
And I think as she begins to heal and get her self-confidence in herself and who she is as a woman, then they're going to complement each other really well.
Right.
She's going to know how to support him, push him. He's going to know how to love her and put his foot down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to do that for them to really be happy. Yeah. For them to both have, I don't want to say be happy, but for them to both have equal footing.
And to have a solid relationship.
Yeah. He's
and
not
have being toxic.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, so I applaud him. That's where the applaud button goes. I will applaud him.
I think we have.
We got applause.
We got applause. There we go.
I will applaud him for his effort in saying, while we're at it, I'm going to bring it up now because they're becoming safe with each other. And I think at the beginning stages, you know, you're dating, you're trying to get to that point. When you first get married, you still don't feel safe if you can be totally who you need to be.
True.
So,
yeah. Okay. So he talks with his friend. So a lot of the conversations that people are having this week is going to be them talking about their relationship as they're thinking about decision day. So he talks with his friend. He's kind of like replaying the relationship.
I think that was his brother, wasn't it?
It may have been his brother. I don't know. It was somebody. It was somebody that was sitting across from him. And then she was talking with her dad. I do know that was her dad.
Yes.
Dad seems to like Chris. He's like, you know, if you were a jerk, I'd be different with it, right? But he seems to have a good relationship and rapport with Chris and likes him as a son. Of course, as much as his daughter likes him, right?
Correct. But he mentioned at the very beginning of this experiment, he's not a serial killer because that was his first concern. And I forgot was the other one, if he was a jerk or whatever, a loser. So, you know, he's like, pretty much, I think the dad was saying, you really don't want my opinion because I do like him. Right. But he was like, you have to make the decision.
This is your decision to make.
This is your decision to make. And he's like, I can't find any fault in the guy. He needs to keep you because I need to move. He probably like, I need to move on in life. We need to be in a different space.
Right.
You need a new man in your life.
Okay.
So I think overall, you know, they're going to have maybe some more big arguments, but I feel like they can survive it.
Yes.
I can see them figuring out their living situation, because that's where, you know, her underwear is in a bunch about. I get it though. I get it. I get it.
Right. I know.
You know, and they're going to have to make a decision.
Yes. And for them, it is the issue that's really kind of a roadblock is going to be their 3 dogs.
Yeah, because they got
that's gonna throw a wrench in wherever they try and find a place until they get ready to buy.
Right. Just all of a sudden be like, the applications and be like, oh, we got 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know where that other dog showed up.
Yep. You just put 1 dog in each room and then take 1 person around. Yeah, you got to figure that out. So okay. That was pretty much it for them. Yeah. So then let's talk Jasmine and Eris.
I'm frustrated with them.
Not as frustrated as Jasmine is.
Because I think he spent too much time him deciding if he want to participate in the marriage.
Right.
And and this is my opinion, if it was me, I would have to say, I would tell him I'm undecided, because yeah, he's coming around that potentially he could be a good boyfriend and not a husband. You see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
And so for her, I'd be like, bro, you wasted a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
And now that you finally coming around, and now finally after 7 weeks, you can see me attractive. You on this slow burn thing?
Yeah.
I would say if it was my decision day, I would say maybe let's try to be boyfriend and girlfriend and go to counseling, and you court me, not date me. You're courting me.
Okay.
And then if we can get to a place where we can live together and you're saying you are truly into me, then we go from there. But you only get 8 more weeks. I'll put a time limit on it.
Okay.
You got 8 more weeks.
Okay.
Because other than that, I'll be like, bye.
So there has been some improvement. They do like some feather play and blindfold, what have you. He does a foot massage for her. Then he gets into this thing where he likes to be slapped.
He should have just said that at the beginning.
And if that's his thing,
she should have laid it on him thick. I would have been like, from way back, one good one, and then he can decide if that's his thing or not.
Right.
He just needed one good one.
Yep.
And then he can decide. Yep. If that's what he do.
And maybe that's been the barrier. Maybe she's too nice, and he needs somebody that's gonna slap him around. Because remember, he said something to the effect also that it was a turn on for her to like get after him, or kind of check him and what have you.
But then, okay, there's an appropriate way. Should couples talk about sex? Yes,
absolutely.
Now, to the point, especially with them being married, talk about your experience. This is what I like and prefer. Right. And then she will have something to go off of. But the way he approached it, he didn't approach it in like an intimacy way. It was more of like a cringe.
Right.
And so you don't know how to talk about sex. So I can see why he never shared that. If you really don't know properly how to share with your partner, how you want to be intimate. So I don't know, but she should have. I was like, girl, get it. And then she talks about that. He wanted me to smack him. And I started thinking about things. I was like, yes, you got the permission.
Yep.
And then if that was still good for him, I'd be like, all right, I can do that.
Okay. Enough of that. They do. Oh, so she does go to a pole dancing class with Gina. Yes. And Eris is like, I thought I'd surprise her. Eris is trying to see if it was a full-blown class so he could pick out his after decision day date.
I don't know. He surprised her, and maybe this is the makeup for him not seeing her on that other pole.
Okay.
That lumberjack pole.
Okay.
So maybe he's making up for it.
Maybe.
You know, this is where he says he's finding some more attraction towards him. And I was just like, okay, but what you're saying is you don't know how to build intimacy outside of having sex.
Outside of objectification.
Yeah, there it is. That's the word.
Outside of objectifying her, he can't find intimacy and find attractiveness to her.
That's it.
But because I'm throwing fake dollars at her, I can see it.
That's it.
Because there's a pole that reminds me of when I was in them streets at the club.
That's it.
Now I can find the attractiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue with him, in my opinion.
That's good.
So, and then they go to a medium to have a reading, which...
Hey, y'all be messing with them mediums. Y'all think that's entertainment. They're pulling on something. And I don't think it's holy, but that's my opinion, right?
That's just us, yep.
That's just us. But you see his face, he look a little spooked.
A little shook, yep, a little shook.
He look, because she weren't lying.
No, not at all.
She was not lying.
Mm-mm.
She was not lying.
So,
but don't forget, you can find that in any verse foundational Bible believing fivefold ministry.
Yep.
So,
yep.
That's my spiel for the church. Amen.
Exactly. Amen. All right. So then let's talk the couple that I think is going to be the star couple of this whole Married at First Sight.
Oh, we got a star couple?
We got a star couple.
Okay.
This is a couple that I think is probably the best couple in Married at First Sight history.
Lay it on us.
That's Clint and Hank. Clint and Hank are like a pair. Clint goes to get some ice cream. He feeds it to Hank. Hank's like, yeah, buddy, let's get the ice cream. All right, you about to drive us someplace? Let's go. He got his head hanging out the window. Clint and Hank.
He had a puppy cup.
Yep.
Puppuccino.
Yep.
Listen, Gina's going to have to get a new dog after it's over.
Yep.
Because Hank is going to be devastated when
Hank is going to be sitting in the house.
If it was decision day, they need to bring Hank and let Hank decide who he wants to stay with.
Here, Hank. Come here, Hank.
He'd be like, nah, Gina,
you
don't treat me the way Clint treats me.
Clint be taking me for ice cream. What do you do? What have you done for me lately?
Right. Instead, have me up in this house waiting for you to come home from work.
And you smell like shampoo and
and hairspray.
Yep. VO5. So what's his name? Clint does go hang out with Mackenzie.
Like surprise.
I remember Mackenzie's still around.
We see.
Mackenzie's still sliding into stuff.
Sliding in. And to me, anytime someone you gotta be careful with anybody when only thing they want to talk about what's going on in your relationship.
Yep. Yeah, because especially when you first told me, oh, she's cute. I don't see what you don't see in her. And now Yeah.
I was like, don't worry about our relationship. How about you? What you doing? And he explains that he has been on a couple of dates, but overall, nothing has, come out of them.
Right.
So, but to me, to be fair, I would think if you're in this situation, you want to give your all, right?
Right.
Because we got rumors that he's jumping in Gina's DM. Gina's not being fair to Clint.
Right.
If you allow somebody else to be in your ear.
Absolutely.
And so if this turns out to actually be the case, she's the one that's in the wrong. Because I guess we'll talk about their counseling session or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Gina does take Clint, or Clint does get a haircut at Gina's spot. And now she says he has some swag. After one of her hairstylists cut his hair up.
Again, we're waiting late into the season.
Yeah.
To make decisions, because she could have mentioned that at the beginning, like, you know what? Hey, why don't let me get a haircut? You haven't had a haircut in a while. I think that will help me with your attraction. Are you up for that?
Right.
You know, tell people what you like and see if they're willing to make some compromise. Because it's only a yes or no question.
Yep.
So,
well. They do meet with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal. And if y'all remember, Dr. Pepper was like, all right, I'm going to assign y'all some homework, do some Netflix and chill, do some of this stuff. And so she's coming. She's like, okay, did you all get a chance to do? No. What about, did you watch? No. Did you hope? No, we didn't do that either. So they didn't do their homework.
This is where I asked them again. We can save the last week on this apartment right here. If you guys don't want to do the work and move forward, why don't we just go ahead and call this quits?
Yep.
Because at this moment, obviously, thankfully, they have a good friendship.
Right.
But guess what? That's not what this show is about.
At all.
That's a different show. So y'all can go ahead and excuse yourself if you don't want to participate anymore.
Yep.
You know, I think that could be the most frustrating thing when you're in this friend zone and you both decide you don't want to be in it. Because I would think Clint at this point would be like, you know what, I'm just in it for the ride. I got to stay and be with Hank as long as I can.
Yep.
Before I have to fight for him in divorce court.
Because, yeah. Hank is
parental rights.
Hey. She does say that the wedding stuff was, or I don't know if she said it, but one of them said that the wedding stuff was kind of going through the motions, that they were just kind of going and saying the things that should be said at a wedding.
I think they're lying. Because if you don't like somebody, trust me, you ain't going to be kissing up all on them.
Right.
And really enjoying the time. So I believe there was originally a spark.
I think there was more a spark on his side than her side. I do think there was a spark on her side, but I think it was more him to her than her to him. If I, going back over how that all went down. I think that the ginger thing caused him to be like, oh, and take a step back. That then changed his attraction, but I don't think that he stopped being attracted to her. I don't think that that's the case. No, I think it's always been on Gina as far as the attraction and pushing for chemistry. Right. I think that she's kind of built a wall, and we haven't really talked about so much her wall because we were kind of figuring out that whole ginger versus athletic thing. So I think that if we're looking back over these past few weeks, I think that in all honesty, that Gina has built a wall and is I won't say largely to blame, but if we're talking 51-49%, 51% of the issue belongs to Gina, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. But there's still to another level, like we've seen in past episodes. If the woman just really not feeling it,
then she not feeling it.
She'll say no.
Yep.
She'll be like, nah. She didn't look uncomfortable at all.
Right.
As she begins to portray when it's time for them to go into the apartment. And this is when she's saying that she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know if she wants to do that yet.
Yeah.
So.
Now, she does also talk about the personality mismatch as far as the secondhand embarrassment.
Yes.
Saying, and part of that, it kind of alluded to as far as like his drinking and just kind of how he is as almost like frat boy type of behavior. So yes, I recognize that could also play a part in her overall attraction to him. But I don't know. I think that was observed as things went along and not the initial thing. So,
and like he said, he felt like he was broadsided, right?
Yeah.
And so that means you're not communicating like, hey, I'm typically not attracted to this type of person. And these are the vibes you're giving me.
Right.
Now you're at such and such age. So I would think there would be a little bit more maturity.
Absolutely.
Then give him the ability to see if he's willing to adjust, because maybe no one's brought that out to him, because he's always been,
if that's the circle he rolls in, that's the circle he rolls in.
Right. He's always been the life of the party, right? And so that's how he normally operates. Sometimes you need people in your life to recognize things you just haven't been able to recognize so that you can grow. So I get his perspective. He's like, you're not allowing me a chance to grow and show you that I can be more than what I've been around. So, oh well.
All right, that's enough for them. And then Kirsten and SHAQ.
I know. I have to take
deep side. All right. So he's talking with his brother. He's talking about how she's still looking for intentional conversations. And that essentially doesn't feel, he thinks that he's giving her what she needs, but she keeps saying, that's not what you're not giving me what I need, right? He says he does not feel, she was talking to her brother, I'm sorry, that she was still looking for those intentional conversations. I'm sorry. She was talking with her brother, talking about she doesn't get the intentional conversations. And she says she doesn't feel that he wants to be in the marriage with her. All right. He's talking with his friend, kind of again, sharing how he feels about the whole situation. There's a segment where they make breakfast together and they're talking, what have you. And they talk about how she feels. And she's, again, just laying out, this is why I feel the way I feel. You come in, you just go to the room, or you come in, you give me a head nod and you walk past me. And production
did they need applaud.
They came with the receipts.
They
backed up what she was saying.
Yes.
And again, we kind of got on Kirsten at first because Kirsten seemed a little standoffish at the beginning. She was not opening up.
Correct.
So yes, we faulted Kirsten for that. But now, we gotta lay the blame at SHAQ's feet.
Well, yeah, and I told you this maybe last video recap. Check out previous video or recap. He seemed moody.
Yes.
At times.
Yeah. And
so she's gonna have to be like, when he comes in that way, like, hey babe, I'm gonna give you a minute to decompress. But what happened in your day? Because whatever happened in your day, you're bringing it home to me.
And it's impacting us.
Yep. Now, when you've been single a long time, you don't know, because there's nobody to tell you're in the mood.
And you're okay with being in the house by yourself, being moody. Pouting. You're not impacting anybody.
No, because there's nobody to talk to or force you to have to talk to.
Right.
But when you have to say, you need to let this out because I'm talking to you, and you just walk around like,
And I think that is because we've learned about each other. For me, there are times where I just need to be, quote unquote, what I call in a cave. Sometimes I just need to be, don't talk to me. I just need that moment to process my thoughts or to just kind of veg out. Or if I'm on, I play Call of Duty, so I'll blow stuff up, and that helps me to relieve some of the stress I may be feeling, right? But then when that time is over, or when I need to end that time, we have those conversations because we can't be in a marriage and not communicate.
Correct.
So
correct. And you're going to have to step up and help them. Like, I would want to choose you on decision day, but let's talk about our future. Right. Where would we live if we're going to be together? Because he's talking future and saying, oh yeah, we are going to be together. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And she needs to address the family matter. Because he's assuming that everyone's like his family. Every family is not the same.
No.
They don't get together all the time. No. My family's not like that. Just because of things that happen.
But my family throws a party because somebody breathed today.
Right.
My family just throws a party.
Especially when you guys were all lived all
Yeah, we were all in Chicago.
Area.
I was when we were in Chicago, my aunt's house was like family central. It was like after church, we'd go there. And then before choir rehearsal, we'd be there. After choir rehearsal, New Year's, it was the place, right?
Right.
That was how our family operated.
Right.
Your family doesn't necessarily do that.
No, because when there's things going on in your family that were causing people are addicted or be on drugs, you can't be around them.
Right.
It just changes certain dynamics in your family, right?
Right.
And so were we married? Yeah, we hadn't been married. When you had a family gathering, we were in town in Chicago, and it was like 10 of y'all. I was like, all of y'all showed up just to hang out together.
Yep.
I was really surprised of, you know, you guys having a good time and spending time together, where I just didn't get the opportunity to see that.
Right.
And so now we can kind of better understand where SHAQ doesn't understand that all families are not like that.
Right.
You know, he's just like, I should have met your dad by now. You know, I should have met your mom and your brother. And now you ask them to come over and only one person show up.
Yeah, that was it. So yeah, they had in this episode, they had the dinner, right? And from the sounds of it, they had invited a bunch of her family and only her mom showed up.
Yeah, brother calls her out. I got to work, can't make it. And he like, okay, if this was my family, everybody going to make time, because he talks about, you know, whatever's important to you, you'll make time for.
Exactly.
And so he's feeling like, are they not thinking I'm important? So that's when you start internalizing. Yeah. Do they don't like me?
And now in their defense, and I don't know that this is the case, right? But are they also saying, well, we don't know if, well, that we don't want to be taped. That could be part of it also.
Father, she didn't want to be part of taping.
Daddy might have some warrants. All right. And then, but also it could be just a matter of, I don't know if you're going to be here in 3 weeks. So therefore, I'm not going to take time out of my day to come connect with you. And you got a decision to make. And from Kirsten, she don't know if you're going to make that decision. So I'm not going to come over to connect with you, like you as a brother-in-law or cousin-in-law, whatever it may be. And then you gone. Right. So that could also be it, if we're honest.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a lot of different things. So I think she just needs to communicate that. So, and he has to be a little bit more understanding.
Yeah. So speaking of mom did come by.
Yes.
And she asked them some good questions, and she made a good statement. She said, you guys have to be more concerned with living and not expecting. In other words, stop saying what you expect of each other and kind of live your life together, and stop putting expectations on each other. Right. You're going to get that happy medium if you push towards it. But if you're still holding on to I expect this, then you're not going to get to the place you need to be at. So,
and I think that was great advice. You know, I think we all have this set expectation when we get married. Yep. And afterwards, think about what's that? Lowered expectation.
Lowered expectation.
And we got to get to the place where it's like, okay, this is who I am. Right. You know, and I can't look to the movies or the sitcom of how my marriage is supposed to be. We're creating this together. Right. And we're deciding what's going to work best for us. Yes. Because, you know, you see some couples, they all over each other, you know. And I'm like, okay, that's just not my relationship. But that doesn't mean I don't love my husband. Right. It doesn't mean that I don't care about them. And so don't allow to project what you see in other people's relationship.
And also sometimes what you see is not the actuality.
That's true too.
Sometimes we've seen couples that have been great. We thought they were great together, thought things were good. And all of a sudden, we don't want to talk about our marriage. We're going through a divorce. Wait, what?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
If you take care of your own yard, take care of your own grass, take care of your own house, make sure that that's straight. Right. Instead of looking at somebody else's house and trying to copy their house. Right.
You know, sweep around your own front door.
What? You are singing a lot today.
I know. Before you sweep around mine.
You get new mics, and all of a sudden you want to sing everything. Patti LaBelle. Okay. You want to some Shirley Caesar? Shoot. All right, so I think that's it. Again, we don't have any change our predictions. I mean,
no. I think we're pretty locked in on these predictions. So. Now, I would be surprised, right, if something else comes about, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. We're just, because I think we still got another week before decision day.
I think so.
They dragging out decision day. They'd have made like.
I don't think so. It's just the same amount of time. It's just, I think when we look at the show, everyone has similar but different, issues in marrying a stranger.
True.
So, and I think you find out a lot about yourself. In this set of couples, I think it was just, I felt frustrated on behalf of some of the spouses, because again, they had a great expectation, but they also was like, you know, the great fear coming true.
True.
That not being liked or being accepted by their potential spouse. So this season, we seem to see a lot of that.
Okay.
You know, so, but people got to be honest on those applications.
Yeah. And
don't have your mama fill it out. See, that would have been good. Yeah.
All right. We listen, that's it for this one. We appreciate y'all. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know if we missed something. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.